Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by and by.
I don't know you from anyone, but maybe in the end that don't matter so much, so long as we're after the same things. Little firelight, little morsel, a minute or two of company. Well, I ain't got much, and I sure ain't got more than that. I'll share what I have. You'll do the same for a stranger one day by and by. I've been running too long, dogs and guns. Tell me something happened. I like that story. Good to remember that we all want our dignity. Why ask me about love? I had a chance once. I think it's past. That's just the way it went. Me, I can run to the hills till my ribs show, but I wasn't gonna do that to... You can't do that to a wife. See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs. Brings me back. There was a time when me and Big Ben could just enjoy exciting stories like this one. Innocent. Choice? I didn't have one. I had no family left. Nothing was really mine. I suppose I could have just took off when the company men came down and shot at us. I got nothing to tell you, except the thought never did cross my mind. I must be stupid as they said we were for organizing. Stupid. I reckon just like one of the horses. See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs. Should be popular mealtime where I'm from. You keep a whole crew glued, I bet. This country? Pretty here. How many human bodies you think it's built on? I'm just being figurative. Mostly. Got any funny stories? Must have a couple. You got some wit, stranger. When I think about the past, I think about 10, 15, 20 men all passing the time enjoying. Almost no one language between us, all different stories. We all have black fingers, though. Coal mine turns us all the same color in the end. Anyway, I need something to laugh about. Got any funny ones? You are a pretty funny one, you know that? Joy is when you speak up for your brother, and then he speaks up for you. If you gotta stand on a firing line, to know you won't be standing alone. I'm heading out, up this way. Still can't say exactly where I'll be tomorrow. You ever get a loose thread, and when you pull it, the whole works come apart? Every one of us gets mastered by something. You try to get out from under it. What if you never get to know if you done right? You ever, you know?
See them far and long, 'cause when the night come down for to take me hand in hand, this will be my tale, my vagrant song. This will be my tale, my vagrant song. Ooh.
First, Ma and Pa wanted me and Paul on the front lines. They wanted someone to be proud of, and I did as they asked. Then the government wanted me to take an IOU, and I did. When there were no more jobs, I, along with thousands of others like me, went and asked Hoover to pay up. General MacArthur was so scared of us, he brought in goddamn tanks to keep us from tearing apart D.C. Do you know any happy stories? Hopeful ones? I liked that one. There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too quickly. When the memories swirl, I find joy again. Between the trenches, I catch a glimpse of Paul before he was gone. And the time before then, well, that was joy to me. Know any good jokes? I'm not so good at telling them anymore. Wish I could tell that one to my sister. Home? Everything has one, or everything should. Everything deserves one. I don't really tell this to people, but, you know those little purple thistles, the prickly ones? Cirsium vulgare, they're called. Common weeds, but I love the little scratchy flowers, and I feel a little disappointed yanking out their roots. They never hurt anyone. So anyway, tell me a funny story? You seem like you know a few good ones. Yeah, Paul would have liked that one. Making choices. Well, morals ain't important to the bosses, and not to me, and not to the war. They ain't doing anyone any good anymore. Know any good jokes? I'm not so good at telling them anymore. Yeah, Paul would have liked that one. Love? All the connections. Which is what love is, isn't it? Drowned in the mud in no man's land with Paul. But love comes in so many forms. I love now the ability to walk more dearly than ever. I love more deeply the sun and the earth. Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind. For a moment there, just a moment, I felt better about it all too. Heaven. I've already seen it. It's a little clean for my taste, but since Paul's there, you won't hear me complaining. Well, morning's come. The road takes me this way next. Wish it were taking me home. The family always did like Paul more anyhow. Loyalty to him is the only loyalty I don't regret. Even the other soldiers of the bonus army, they had families to go back to. I got my sister Jessie, and she's not letting her gimp brother home anytime soon.
a funny thing, someone looking right through you. But don't lie to me, friend. I know you want to know the truth, what it really means to be a porter. Well, I can tell you it's more than making white folks happy. That's just how it's supposed to look. But you go on so long being how you're supposed to, you're not quite sure how to go back to what you are. Though I suppose I can give it a try. Tell me something that'll make me laugh. I could use a chuckle. Oh, that's a good one. Very good. Oh, love. Yeah. Porters like to spread news amongst ourselves. And nothing is more newsworthy than a phone number a pretty little Piola just happened to leave behind. You don't tell anybody, but that's how I met my last girl in Harlem. Anyway, you must have some funny stories to tell. I'll keep this story in my pocket for sure. It'll make some passenger laugh. Fortune. A porter lives or dies on the good fortune of passengers. One day a nice man could give you a generous tip. The next day he could steal a towel. And guess who's paying for the replacement? Anyway, you must have some funny stories to tell. Share one. I suppose that's someone's idea of hope. I've heard some porters say that even up in heaven, we're gonna be the ones making the beds, shining the shoes, and cleaning the corners. I believe it. Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good happy story. You got any? Just like I told you, friend, miles of smiles. When they want to liven spirits up, to bring each other joy, all railroad folk tell the story of the still driving man, John Henry. But only us porters talk about Big Old Daddy Joe, the best porter who ever lived. I've always been more partial to that tale. Have any optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those. Positive attitude. That's what I like to hear. I guess the future's in our hands. Nobody had ever seen organized black folks before the Brotherhood came along. It's on us to make sure that's how it keeps on going. See, I spend a lot of time thinking, will we be the first black union or the only one? Another night over. I've got to get going. My journey takes me down the rails this way. But it was good talking to you. And how'd you like that, Sharon? Our dark silhouette's a little easier to make out. Sooner or later, the whole world's got to know what we really are and what's it really like. That's the only way we're really gonna matter to anyone besides ourselves. And now that you know the bad, doesn't the good sound that much better? Sharing goes both ways, though. Is your truth a little more complicated, too?
my vagrant song.
I suppose most expect a Negro to end up in prison. Yeah, there's two kinds in my estimation. There's a prison with bars, where they lock you up after they decided you've done a crime. And there's also the prison without bars. That's everywhere else, if you look hard enough. You got any good happy stories where things work out for someone, maybe? That was a good one. Wish I could have your stories around when I'm in a dark place, you know, George? Nothing more satisfying than a routine. Wake up, eat, work, eat, sleep. Regular, easy. But anyway, now I feel like hearing a hopeful story. Good to hear a story that's more happy than the world really is. Nice to escape. Ah, heaven? Strange story there. No, it don't feel good to live under the boot of the law. But you get used to it. And sometimes, you find yourself missing it. You got any good happy stories where things work out for someone, maybe? Good to hear a story that's more happy than the world really is. Nice to escape. Realizing that you have nothing and belong nowhere feels both like death and freedom at the same time. But anyway, you know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight. body and soul. The past, sharecropping, and prison. It all blends together in my head. Might as well be the same thing. In prison I ate more, but anyway now I feel like hearing a hopeful story. Got any of those? Authority. Well, in the Union they called us communists, and they called my jailers tyrants. If they tyrants, then they're all the more evil for how easy it gets to live like that, doing only what they say once you get used to it. Here's the sun. I got to go. My road takes me up this way, but if we meet again, I'll be glad to talk. What is a man owed in this life, do you think? I never think I ask or want for much. Just food, shelter, fair pay for honest work. Is it selfish? I truly have to wonder. Is it selfish to feel like you're owed anything at all? Even that. Tell me, brother. What was it that you wanted? What did life bring you instead?
I'm gonna heft my spade up upon my weary back. I'm gonna keep lacerates tucked in my soul. 'Cause when my coals burn low and my trains run out of track, won't be no one else to dig my hole. Well, I got no companion except the wind and the sea. And when I'm cold and empty, they're the ones who bury me. I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land. By and by I'll see them far and long. When the night come down for to take me hand in hand, this will be my tale, my vagrant song.